Hello, my monstrosities. Hello once again. Today I'll bring to you a DbD discussion video with gameplay in the background. I want to talk to you all about Skull Merchant. How does everybody feel about Adriana now that she has been reworked again? Personally, I can't believe that a certain content creator was right and that she kind of just needed number changes from the PTB. Not everything is nearly as bad for some odd reason, and that's good, right? But I also want you in the comments to sound off how you feel about her. I already know how some comments are going to go. Please, if you are just a biased, salty XYZ main, either it be Survivor or Bad Guys, let's be unbiased for like 30 seconds and actually think about how we feel, get in tune with our emotions or something like that, and then write the comment, okay? From what I've been using her, or from the times I've been using her, I should say, I can't believe that I'm actually enjoying what's going on the screen. I'm actually getting to kind of set up the map and make it so that there are finally hazards. Trapper had more hazards than Old Skull Merchant, which were weird. The mechanics, I gotta admit, there was one that I was definitely wrong on. I thought that the ability to rotate the drones was going to be massive. I think I've used it once in all of my games. Now, that's not to say that people better than me with Scully won't use that feature more than I have, but just for somebody that's a not Skull Merchant main, I don't really see the point for it. Now, there are some tiles where, yeah, it'd be really helpful if you did switch the rotation. But I think I've also just been playing this game to the point that I don't feel those anymore. You know? It's it's hard to then throw away everything what you know about the game because you can do it a different way. And by that I mean everyone knows that if you are playing the bad guy, there's moments in which you know, hey, if I fake my red light or whatever and walk backwards, i.e., moonwalking, then this will get the person. However, with Skull Merchant, you do have the ability to just pull up your radar and kind of take care of half of that looping part by yourself, but by the time it comes up, I'm already way too deep in my own movement that I'm trying to figure out. Oh, should I be rotating this beam? So I guess that's another point that I would like to hear about in the comment section is if you have bothered to rotate Gold Merchant's lights. So far, yeah, like I said, I think like once, maybe twice because I was feeling funky. But yeah. Then also, if you are here and you are a survivor going against Skull Merchant, uh, found out that you can plot twist the claw trap away and just be good. So there's that. I don't know. I feel like that's kind of an oversight, but I feel that plot twist is going to be the new nurse, but maybe not nurse, but like the new. Yeah, we'll keep the nurse analogy. But for Survivor, where you're in a position in which you can't introduce too many new things because one thing that you've introduced in the past is going to completely make it broken. Like, There's so many interactions with plot twists that how does one even begin to make sure that none of it breaks and isn't just straight up an advantage? Because I was looking through one of my games and I think I'll post it. I don't know yet. I'm still debating on if it's the build that I want to show. But somebody had plot twist. They didn't end up using it until after they were no longer claw trapped, which was weird. I guess they just didn't think to try it for some odd reason. Who knows? But in the recording, or while I was recording, I thought that they did plot twist it away, so of course I had to go check. And you can. So that's an interesting thing for Skull Merchant to now have to worry about. It's interesting how behavior keeps making powers that end up getting hard countered by one perk on the other side. Now, mind you, plot twist isn't the strongest counter ever. You can only do it once, right? But we all know that we've had those games in which it's that one moment that kind of turns everything on its head. So, to say that plot twist can now affect one baddie's power harder than the rest, it's kind of funny. I guess you can say it's a real plot twist. But jokes aside, that's something I don't think is worth concern yet. Uh, yeah, it's not worth concern actually overall. I say that as, thinking about how Pinhead is kind of countered by self-aware or what's it called now? One where you can see your own scratches but you walk faster. Whichever one, that. So, I guess we'll just have to wait to see. Wait to see. Now, the other thing with the rework is she going to be a problem? I don't think many people expected her to turn out to be a 3-gen monster when she first came out. Like, who really could have seen that coming, really? Well, obviously, a couple of people did, and that's why that reputation spread so quickly. But then we have this new iteration that some people are saying is just downright unfair to go against, and I have a hard time believing that. I think we have to do the usual where you give people, a month or two of working with the new baddie and working against the new baddie to see if there's anything worth concern. A lot of the time, unfortunately, in the current state of DbD especially, people are just finding out quickly how to completely take away a power, and let me tell you, I was practicing singularity all day today. That that's something. Though that hurts me. I don't know how people are singularity mains. If you are, oh, I would say head off to you, but I can't stand using a Betty. But that's besides the point. I just say all that to say that it's going to take a minute for people to get used to the new Skull Merchant. So it's hard to make all of these meta calls like, oh my gosh, Skull Merchant is actually already A tier. Have you heard how Skull Merchant can win the game? And it's just like, unless we're talking about like Exodia, let's cool our jets here, huh? But there are things that I do like in general with the rework that I would like to kind of touch on for a quick second. I've already mentioned that you kind of get to set up this web, but not only that, they've made it so that the web interacts well with each other. Now, it doesn't, the drones, I should say, don't go through floors anymore, which I thought was going to be a bigger issue, if I'm going to be honest. I really had the assumption that you probably should be scanning more than one floor at a time. And I've been proven wrong. I'm perfectly fine with what it is now, so, I can't really fault them for that. But I still want to know why it took so long. And why we didn't get it right the first time. And somehow made the changes quick enough before live. Who knows, who knows, who knows. I am not a dev at behavior, contrary to what some angry people seem to think when they yell at me like, oh no, the X, Y, and Z keeps getting buffed and then the other thing keeps getting nerfed. So, things like that. But, I don't know, Skull Merchant kinda rocks in the sense that you can now have a chance to show skill expressiveness. And I don't think people are going to agree with that initially, what I'm saying right there. But if you are actually paying attention, you can use your drone to gain undetectable. By the way, you gain undetectable for the first few seconds after deploying a drone as compared to having to be inside of a ring for at least 1 second. That was dumb. But hey, they've learned, hopefully. I'm I don't know. I'd say that, but I just have to think for a quick second how many times they have to learn a lesson to stop doing it. Because we already knew things like don't give the drone a cooldown to recall it. We already knew that. But why did we do that and then have to get praised for taking it away? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's classic game marketing. Like, we're listening to you by doing a very dumb thing and then making it less dumb. Who knows? Who knows? So, I guess that's kind of where I'll end this one off. I'm content with where Skull Merchant is now. She could still be better and could be more entertaining. But for my own playstyle, I can set up a drone and gain benefits from it, which is kind of all I needed. Better Trapper, which, hey, the bar was on the floor for that one. But now we aren't underground anymore, so you can play a character that isn't as bad as Trapper, even though I know he just got a buff too. But yeah, how do you feel about Skull Merchant and I guess the history of her reworks? If you like the video, like it. Got a comment for me, comment. And until next time, peace out, my monstrosities.